Hey everybody, so it's time for RAD Dynamic Stretches. We're just going to walk you through how we're going to do this at home. RAD Dynamic Stretch series will take about 5 minutes, and you're going to set a timer starting from 0 and onward. The timer is so that you can keep track of each movement, and we do want to spend about 20 seconds per movement. Now that being said, for certain movements, if it's, for example, head rolls, you want to go one way for 10 seconds, the other way for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and go over each of the movements. We're going to place the hands on the shoulders, and head rolls looks like this. We're moving the head. You can start off with a smaller range of motion and gradually work your way to a larger range of motion. We also want to spend a little bit of time turning, so we're going to turn looking over one shoulder and turn looking over the other shoulder. We're just checking out on just general functional movements of the neck and head. Then we're going to move on to huggers. So we're going to hug yourself, love yourself, big, big, big arm swings, nice and dynamic. You can feel that chest and shoulders in the front, maybe even the biceps getting a nice stretch. And then we're moving on to victories. And remember, each one of these, we want to spend about 20 seconds because that is about the time it takes for adaptation to fully set in. Then we're going to move into single arm circles. We're going to start with one arm. And for this one, you're going to spend about 10 seconds going one direction, and then you'll switch and going the other direction. And we have two arms, so we're going to make sure we spend another 20 seconds on the other arm, 10 seconds going one way, 10 seconds going the other way. Then we're going to move on to the elbows. So we're going to go elbow circles. You could go double, or you could go do the Carlton and do both one direction and go the other direction. Have fun with it. We're going to get real silly and nice and loose. Moving on to the wrists next, so you can go wrist shakers, you can interlace the fingers and do rotations. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. Just go and shake it nice and loose. We're moving on to the back twist. So we're going to go ahead and start doing some torso twisting, working on that spine. You can also place your hand on your chest or your mid sternum or on your belly to start to get movement through those segments. Then we're going to also move into hip circles, so hands on hips, and this is a great assessment that we always run, usually as a baseline before we do mobility, and we always check in afterwards. Great way to just check in and see how tight those hip flexors are. If you feel tightness in your lower back, you know that the hip flexors are in trouble. We're going to move down to the knees, so feet together, knees together, hands over the knees. We're going to go knee circles, going one way, going the other way, spend about 10 seconds again on each side. If there's two directions to go, make sure it's nice and even. Moving down to the ankles, we're going to spend time doing one ankle at a time, turning one direction for 10 seconds, switching to the other direction for 10 seconds, and we have two ankles. So let's go and get the other side. Same thing, both directions. And then we're going to move on to the kicks. So for the leg kicks, we do recommend hold on to something for balance. Zach has a stick mobility here. So we're going to go ahead and swing through, starting off with the front kicks. Spend about 20 seconds, and then we'll get the other side as well, 20 seconds. And then finally, the last one is going to be the lateral swing. So put your support in front of you and swing, crossing the body, spending about 20 seconds on that side and 20 seconds on the other side. All said and done, this is going to take about 5 minutes, about a little bit over 5 minutes actually, about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Keep moving smooth and relaxed. Focus on staying loose and settle into a rhythm. Try to get a nice cadence going, make it real natural. You can start off slow, you can gradually ramp it up, but the true key word in this is dynamic. So you want to be very, very dynamic with your movements. And that's it. Hey everybody, it's time for Inner Fire. This workout, as the title describes, is going to create quite a burn for you guys. So we've got 3 movements we're going to cover. First one is the bicycle crunch. So for the bicycle crunch, we're going to start off flat on our back on the floor. The goal for this is to interlace those fingers behind the head, and we're going to bring the shoulders off the ground as we twist our torso and make contact, or at least reach for contact, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Now, a couple common faults for this one would be shoulder blades still remaining on the ground, so we're just kind of flat on the back, and that's basically the main one for this, you guys. So try your hardest to get those shoulders off the ground for these bicycle crunches. It also helps to move quickly through these. You can get a good rhythm going. Next, we have Supermans. Supermans are great for extension. It's one of the first movements that we perform as babies. So what we're looking for here is as long as possible, make your body long. Fingertips to toes. We want those elbows locked out straight. And you also want to try to get good extension through the entire spine, not just the lower back. So really focus on getting that mid back and upper back to also get a little bit of extension. Common faults for this is exactly that. Lower back, all the lower back. We've got another common fault, which is bent elbows. So elbows being too bent, not straightening out, not locking out. and just raising the arms while the chest remains on the ground. So make sure to get that chest off the deck as well. The final movement we have for inner fire are lunges. So for the lunges, make sure you get into a really deep lunge, and we want to keep that torso still, just dropping straight down and going straight up. Silent knee touching on the ground, and the front foot is going to be pivoted in slightly as the back heel is going to be pivoted out slightly. Now, as we perform these moves, you're going to want to perform all of the lunges on one side first before you move on to the other side. Common faults for the lunge is having a narrow stance. So too narrow, and you can see the knee is encroaching and passing the toes. That's going to be too much on the quad, which can actually be bad for the knees. And so we want to ensure that we get a nice deep lunge for those. Another common fault for the lunges would be to be coming forward with the torso. So you can see instead of descending straight down, there's a little bit of movement, forward to back movement. So really, it helps if you place your hands on your chest. It's a tactile feedback, and then you can feel yourself descending and ascending in a straight vector. So that covers the 3 movements. We're going to go ahead and break down this workout real quick.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Coach Zach. It's time for the WOD Briefing for Inner Fire. Inner Fire is a 4-time workout, so get your stopwatch ready as this workout will begin with 5 rounds per time. Here's what 1 round is going to look like. 100 bicycle crunches, counting every rep with 50 reps per side. Then you're going to do 50 Supermans. Next, you'll do 30 lunges, counting every rep, which is 15 reps per side. You're going to want to perform all 15 reps and then move on to the other side. After 5 rounds, for the beginners, your workout is complete. For veterans, you'll rest 1 minute and then perform 5 rounds of 30 lunges, counting every rep, 15 on each side. Then quickly move on to your 50 Supermans, and finally, 100 bicycle crunches, counting every rep for a total of 50 reps on each side. Your score will be the total time it takes to complete all of the work. Few tips for success. Try to get a good rhythm on the bicycle crunches. Going too slow can make it difficult to balance. There is a sweet spot, so feel it out. When performing the Supermans, reach through the fingertips and toes. Feel the center of balance right in your belly, and again, get a good rhythm. And finally, for the lunges, make sure to keep your core engaged and feel the glutes working on the forward leg. Pacing for the veterans, move as quickly as you can with good form, as you'll have 1 minute built-in rest to the workout. For RX Plus, use a dumbbell or a kettlebell for the lunges. And pacing for the beginners, if you're getting your family or housemate involved, focus on finishing the workout with good form as your highest priority. Don't worry about your time. All right guys, let's get it done. Good luck everyone.